green flickering pixels that move with black images. Strange question. Occasionally, on my LCD screen, pixels that should be black flicker rapidly and constantly between black and green, about 4 flickers a second. The crazy part is, unlike dead/stuck pixels, they are relative to content on the screen and move with it. For example, I might be looking at a web page with a picture that has lots of black. There might be a couple of green flashing pixels in that black that shouldn't be there. I scroll the page, and the green flickering pixels move with the image. It seems that every physical pixel is fine, but somehow something interprets part of the image in a way that causes flickering green. It's not just in a web browser. My first thought was to blame a trolling blogger cunningly uploading an animated GIF that simulates a failing pixel. But it happens in a wide range of applications. It seems to occur randomly, other than that it seems to only occur in areas of pure black, and it's always pure 100% green. It happens rarely enough that it's not a big deal, but it's such a strange problem it bugs me. I can't find any info on anything like this. I'm not even sure if it's hardware or software. Any ideas? Windows 7 laptop connected to LCD by view to HDMI cable.
TLDR, my fix was using a much shorter and better quality cable. I managed to find a solution to this not that long ago on a brand new monitor that required me to buy a cheap 5 3 to HDMI cable. I couldn't get anything else quickly. Like you, the problem was highly dependent on what was on screen and seemed more prevalent with darker images. When moving windows around, they seemed to push the flickering pixels around, which I found aggravating. I tried a number of things, including changing screen resolution, refresh rate, color space, sRGB/mic, as my graphics card supported both, and nothing at all would stop the flickering pixels. Eventually, in frustration, I purchased a simple DV to HDMI adapter and combined with a 1.5 meters HDMI cable, and appeared to fix the problem for me. I can only assume that due to the age of my graphics card and the questionable nature of the long cable, that data signals for darker areas were somehow corrupted, perhaps something about weak signals and the 8/10B encoding. I'm not completely sure why, but this completely got rid of my flickering pixels. Edit equals. I've tried to look into what might have been causing this issue for me, and so here's my disclaimer for the next bit. Here be dragons and wild guesses as to what is failing. DV and HDMI use TMDS. TDMS, according to Wikipedia, uses current mode logic, CML, DC coupled and terminated to 3.3 volts. The effective signal path between transmitter and receiver looks something like this. My wild guess is that due to the DC coupling at the destination, the source must effectively sink the current out of the wire in order to produce a valid zero on the line. A longer and lower quality cable will have a Higger resistance and thus mean that the source must work marginally harder to pull the line low. This is where my weak graphics card hypothesis comes into play. If the source is unable to completely and consistently sink the current in the wire, then by the time the destination is reading the bit pattern, it may be that it reads a 1 where there should be a 0, causing a bit error. Too many bit errors lead to a pixel error, and thus the pixel gets the wrong value and appears to be the wrong color. Now the kicker is that these errors will not be completely consistent due to the source sometimes managing the job and sometimes failing. I have a suspicion that the somewhat non-random nature of the problem is somehow also related to the 8/10B encoding, which tries to achieve DC balance in the signaling protocol. My flickering was worse in particular areas, with there seeming to be some correlation between a group of dark and light mixtures making a flicker more likely to happen. I do not understand enough about it to form a firm idea of why it might cause the problem. Of course, it could have just been a dodgy connector in the cable. I tried both graphics card outputs, so nada there.
Late to the party, but it may prove useful. This URL. The problem is simply because AUDI drivers set 2D clocks too low. 157 MHz core, 300 MHz memory. At higher resolutions like 1680 by 1050, these clocks are not sufficient and causes this problem, so you need to up them to get rid of these green dots randomly appearing on the screen. I found this post in AMD official forums. Follow the instructions. It's very simple. Code. Hey guys. I did the same and it helped a little bit, but there were some green pixels left, so I created a CCC profile and modified the XML profile file via the editor and changed the idle clock from 157/300 to 300/500. Now there are no green pixels left and I think I can live with this solution. To modify the CCC profile, you have to do as follows. Open CCC. Unlock and enable overdrive if they aren't already. Go to options/profiles/profiles manager. Create a new profile. Under composition, make sure AUDI overdrive is checked. Save and close. Do not activate. In Windows, go to c:\users/your username /aptata /local /audi /ace /professor Isles. You will need to have show hidden files turned on for this. Open the XML document with the name of the profile you just created. Notepad is fine. Change the values of the clock and memory speeds to look like this. These specific values are what worked for me in my card. Use judgment. Edit only the bold values. Save and close. Go back to CCC and activate the profile you just created. This will make the card idle at 300 core, 500 memory. 2D clocks are the 1_0 values this URL. If the green pixels still occur, just try some higher clocks. I hope this will help some of you to fix this problem. Smile.
Could it be a loose connection? Especially if you're using an adapter for V to HDMI. Otherwise, make sure your graphics drivers are up to date. To figure out if it's hardware or software, see if you can test your laptop with a different screen. Also do the same with your current LCD screen. Test it with a friend's laptop using a different cable.
What fixed it for me was to re-plug the video cable tightly, really tightly, in the video card socket, and make sure it has not been the first several centimeters, so there is no strain on the socket. Simple solution, perhaps it will help someone to smile.
If you want to support the channel, please consider subscribing.